Welcome, my pupils, to the lesson of the Introduction to Plants. Plants are living organisms typically grown in a permanent site. Plants synthesize nutrients in their leaves with photosynthesis. To help introduce you to plants, we put together this video covering both the vocabulary and objectives for Chapter 21. Chapter 21 is about the classifications of plants, evolution of plants, adaptation of plants, the diversity, and a lot of divisions. What appears to be a very basic kind of organism turns out to have many types of other plants different to it. Plants are classified mostly by their structure, which is dictated by them having a vascular tissue or not. From then on, they are divided further into smaller categories. Plants are key to our survival, but how do they survive themselves? Plants adapt to their environment, changing their physical traits. An example of an adaptation is cuticles, which protect the leaves from outside microorganisms and prevent evaporation of water in leaves. Vascular tissues help with the movement of substances faster than osmosis and diffusion over greater distances. Alternation of generations happens when the diploid cells alternate into haploid cells for the sperm and egg that later on combine into diploid cell. Another topic in this video is a comparison between plants and green algae. Both plants and green algae have cell walls made of cellulose, food stored as starch, and the same type of enzymes and cellular vesicles. There are more comparisons between the two, but an important difference is that the most plants are vascular when all algae are non-vascular. Plants are classified into different divisions, which are bryophytes, which are mosses, entocerophytes, including hornworts, hepaticophytes for liverworts, lycophytes, which are club mosses, pterophytes for ferns, cycadophytes, including cycads, gnatophytes, including jonifers, ginkgophytes, which are ginkgos, coniferophytes, including pines, and finally enthophytes, which are flowering plants. The structures of non-vascular plants are all very similar in that they are not big and have weak frames. Non-vascular plants don't all have the same properties. They are divided into different divisions. The division within non-vascular plants are Bryophyta, Entocerophyta, and Hepaticophyta. The Bryophyta division contains mosses that don't have leaves but instead have leaf-like structures that function similar to that of leaves. These leaf-like structures usually consist of a layer that is only one cell thick. The mosses in Bryophyta produce root-like, multicellular rhizoids that anchor them to surfaces. Of the divisions in non-vascular plants, Entocerophyta is the smallest. Hornworts are in this classification and they have only about 100 species identified. These plants have only one big chloroplast in each cell of the gametophyte and sporophyte. Liverworts, or the division Hepaticophyta, are the non-vascular plants that were used in medieval times as a form of medicine, and more than 6,000 species have been found. The conditions that they live under are dictated by how moist it is. The structure of non-vascular plants are weaker compared to their counterpart vascular plants because they lack vascular tissue to help them move objects faster across the specialized tissue. A notable difference is that vascular plants also tend to be more tree-like and sturdier compared to the looser mosses.
Vascular plants can have two distinctive traits. Either it could have seeds or be seedless. Club mosses and ferns make up this group, being one of the three groups of plants with a vascular tissue. Seedless vascular plants show the most diversity in size. While some club mosses are less than 30 centimeters in height, some tropical ferns can grow up to 25 meters. Since these plants are seedless, they can make you wonder, how do they spread? All the seedless vascular plants have a strobulus that spreads out spores to favorable locations. These spores are primarily carried by the wind. The division of club mosses are referred to as Lycophyta division. These seedless vascular plants are descendants of the oldest group of vascular plants. Some fossils even suggest that these plants were the sizes of trees at the time, even reaching 30 meters tall. With the Lycophyta type of plants populating most of the Paleozoic period forests, they remain changed, eventually becoming parts of the coal we mine up today. Lycophytes have roots, stems, and small leaf-like structures. The name ground pine is associated with lycophytes since they resemble small pine trees.
The other division of seedless vascular plants are the Pterophyta division. This division contains ferns and horsetails. At a time, horsetails were even considered their own plant division, but when closer studies between the two began, scientists mostly agreed they should be grouped together. Ferns can be found in all kinds of environments, but they like to stick to the more moist parts of the world. Back in the Carboniferous period, there were even forests made entirely of ferns. When water became scarce, the ferns slowed their life processes so much they seemed to be lifeless. Vascular plants have another side to them, and these other vascular plants have seeds that are either angiosperms or gymnosperms. Angiosperms are when the seed is enclosed around a fruit or part of the fruit. When the plant is a gymnosperm, the seed is individual with no seed around it. The word gymnosperm comes from a Greek root meaning naked seed. Cotyledons are little structures that store food for sporophyte. The sporophyte generation is when the plant is in the diploid part of the alternation of generations and spread out spores. Alteration of generation is exactly what it sounds like, meaning that the generations of sporophyte and gametophyte alternate. In seed plants, sporophytes are the dominant generation compared to gametophytes. When the sporophytes divide through meiosis, they become haploid male and female gametophytes. As separate as they sound, the gametophytes are very dependent upon the sporophyte generation to survive. The Secotophyta division are cycad plants and are found in cones in the early stages of their lives. These gymnosperm plants can have cones as long as 1 meter and weigh to as much as 35 kilograms. Many people compare cycads to palm trees for their similar heights, but they have different structures and reproductive strategies. The Gnetophyta division can actually live from 1,500 to 2,000 years and are parts of many of our everyday cold medicines. The three genera of Gnetophyta are Ephedra, Cnetum, and Welwitschia. The genus of Ephedra is the genus of Gnetophyta that is found in our medicine. Cnetum includes about 30 different species of tropical trees and climbing vines. Of all of them, the Welwitschia is the most bizarre with only one known species that is only found in the deserts of southwest Africa. Ginkgophyta has only one species that has been found in both North America and China. Although the plant has been found on 2 separate continents, it died out many years ago in the Americas, now only surviving in China. Due to its durability, the plant can be farmed in industrialized environments, although when fertilized, the plant can make a foul smell. One of the most varied division is the Coniferophyta division. With sizes ranging from little shrubs to towering 50-meter tall trees, it is an easy target for money. They are used for lumber, paper pulp, rosin, and other products. The pretty flowers are really nice and always complement a garden to make it look its best. Those plants are anthophyta plants. Having attraction from flowers and delicious seeds are one of the reasons they are so popular as plants. They have lifespans that vary from weeks to years, some even in their life once seeds are born, which takes roughly around a season or less.